Hey guys, welcome back. As you can see, the scenery is a little bit different. I had intentions on putting this out around Christmas time, but I guess you guys already know how the holidays are, so didn't get to work out quite as well. Um, but still, I guess it's in the winter season, so it can still count, I guess. Um, I'll start out by saying I had a mater that I've been working on that's identical to this one here that I'm working on the mailbox with the sled. Um, when the weather warms up, hopefully I can go out and spray paint it and get it all finished up. I got everything all shaped and laid out and carved out and whatever I needed to do. So hopefully when I get that out, I might throw that in there. Then again, I might just put a picture out. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, and let's get into it. So this one is a Weehoo Winter Mater. I love that name. But the only difference is he has a letter. Used a couple different maters for the tow hook or the tow cable. Extended it out, shaped it with straight pins. Just inserted straight pins in it and made it, kind of like the Gumby gel figures that have the metal in them that you just bend and shape. The male is just purely made out of popsicle stick. I see if it'll focus here. I shaped it with my Dremel and then colored in the accents with it. I don't know how well you can see, but it is kind of three-dimensional there, where that's the lid's supposed to be raised up a little bit. Glued that on there, and I also took a winter mater from a Mater Christmas or a Cars Christmas, whichever one you want. Painted all the snow, the grill, the bumper, engine, tow hook, all that. Even the wheels and the base. Painted all the snow on it, but because I didn't have an extra hat, but I had an extra one of him, I just took it apart, since it's got screws on the bottom of it, and then I cut out the front rivet and then filled it in and repainted it. But you can take the hat off, if I can get this done right. There you go. You can swap it out and it'll be him without the tires, without all the extra snow gear. Just thought it would be a cool little add-on. But I think by far I like the Weehoo Winter Mater far better. Of course you can't go wrong with Mater anyway. Next is Luigi with tires. I just redid the axles, reshaped them, glued them in where they needed to be. I did add the silver to the underneath where the suspension would be. And yes, I did add the stars. I know the Christmas time Luigi and Guido's have stars on them, even though Mattel didn't release them with the add-ons with the stars. But I don't have either one of those yet. So, and then these are Radiator Springs 500.5 Lightning McQueen tires. Glued them on, stacked them on, lined them up, and then I had to repaint the rims. Hand painted the rims and tried to make it look more accurate. I did have to redo the eyes and the expression, just to make it more, more accurate. But I did have a little problem with the corner there. Might have to try to fix that up a bit. Next up, I did... Now this one is a release from Mattel, but I didn't have it, and I had an extra car, so I went ahead and made it. And then just did a double take. So now it's a 2-in-1. Sarge with snowplow. Now this one is just a regular Sarge. I painted all the white, spray painted it, and then painted it with a matte clear coat brush on. The headlamps were off of a Radiator Springs 500.5 die-cast McQueen that I had. And the arches around here are just solder. I used solder, poked a couple straight pins through it, ran it through to give it some strength, and then bent them to shape. The snowplow is actually off of Yeti, but I've had that one for years. My mom actually got it for me when I was little. So it means a lot to me, and I didn't want to completely ruin it. But over the years, I had taken the plow off and kind of just stuck it on McQueen for a little play around, mess around. And so I thought, okay, well, I glued it on so I can take it back off again. Painted the tires, the bottom, the base. I even painted the back tire on the cover because it does need to match. And all the Sarges don't have the green on the spare tire. But you're probably asking or thinking, well, I destroyed or took apart the Yeti snowmobile. So now, what about this? Well, I wanted to make it a 2-in-1, as I had said before, so I made the snowplow removable. Straight pins, just ran them through it, and then used a little bit of steel stick, painted it up, and then put the holes in it so it'll line right up, go right back in, no problem. And I did also too on the headlights or light bar, and the fog lights are all, these are made out of popsicle sticks, scrap wood. I carved them, if it'll focus here, I carved them out, and then inside where the gap would be, I just used some of that Molotov chrome. You can buy that at Hobby Lobby. There you go, there it's focused. So, but I also didn't want to cover those up either, so I made this removable. And then I would say probably the most valued one out of all these are Santa Car. And for years I've wanted one, never been able to get one. Finally, I just had to chalk up and buy one, but he was in pretty rough shape. So I just couldn't leave it alone. I wanted to do my best to restore it. And I know that's going to be kind of touchy for some of you. And I mean, I'm a big collector, especially when it comes to the valuables. I don't like touching them because they just seem so high above the rest. Just like Albert Hinckley, Lightning McQueen's biggest fan. I bought that one for a pretty penny back in, I don't know, it's been a few years now. But I bought that and I didn't even open it for display. I mean, I took it out of the box, but I didn't. I kept the box and then left him in the bubble tent. Some of you may know what I'm talking about. But the car, as for the car itself, it has not, no hands have ever touched it. Bought it brand new, luckily. But this is a little different because I couldn't leave it alone, one, and two, I had to just I felt like it needed to be restored. But the little wheelbases, the little tiny roller wheels that are on the bottom of the sled, were coming off anyway. On the surface, it looks perfect, I guess. Maybe. I don't know how well the camera can pick it up. But it turned out to be a resto mod, more so than a full-on 100% restoration, which I'll get into here in a minute. But the biggest thing is the white around the hat. Almost everyone I've seen, if it's not new, mint in box. Unfortunately, this one wasn't. It had some chipping on it, and they all seem to have that chipping there in some sort of pattern or another. So, but it had a little bit of damage here on the fender, so I filled that in, sanded it down, and then repainted it so that it had some sense of normality to it. I mean, I know it's not going to be perfect, but I wanted to at least try to get it the best I could. There was a little nick here, and I did paint it, but the paint's rubbing off again, so I'm going to probably add another layer of clear coat, paint it, and then add another layer. But as for the wheels, I did paint the base, but the little roller wheels, one of them was gone, and they wouldn't roll, it wouldn't sit level, it was in really rough shape. So I did take it apart, redid the wheels. Instead of putting wheels back on it that I didn't actually have, I just ran it straight through, filled in the gaps and the holes, and then left it as is. So now it looks like actual tracks, which is awesome, by the way. I mean, 2 sets of wheels in the back. I mean, come on. Painted the chrome trim around the edge. And then the wheels here, I did the same thing, but I just painted over where it was all scuffed up and marked up. But as you may have already seen, I positioned it so now where the skis or the sleds, whatever you want to call them, those can be positioned in different angles. So it can be, and it won't take much either. I mean, They're sitting on there, but they're very easy to maneuver. And then, of course, I made a base for it because I'm going to work on making a Santa sack. Same thing I use for this layout. It's tile sheeting or roof ceiling stuff, ceiling styrofoam type stuff. Use it for my Bonneville Salt Flats scene, and obviously I can use it for snow too. So just took some plastic and modded it to fit inside there. Cut some grooves out of it. Had to poke some holes in there because the thumbtacks that I used to drill in, glued them and then drilled them in, those were coming apart. So, and then when I ran the thumbtacks through, they were just very slightly dragging. So I did that and then I ran the thumbtacks through the top, took the plastic off of the thumbtacks, ran them through. And this is going to be another controversial part, I'm sure. I put some holes inside on the bottom. And the base was really scuffed up, and I don't know what had happened, but I'm sure it has been played with prior to this. But the other reason I reached out and decided to do this was because I'm a collector. I don't play with them. So, especially for a display, I thought might be good. So now I can set this on there, leave it like this, take it off if I want, obviously, but I can leave it like this, and then I'll put when I make his sack, Santa's sack, I'll put it on the back here, and then I'll be able to, hopefully, at some point, if I ever get lucky enough to buy him, I can just add on to this, put some pins in here, add on to that, and then set the reindeer out, and then have a reindeer mater on the end. So that would be cool in a sense. Have my own kind of snowy landscape, but I don't know. I'm not real sure how that'll work, if it will, or time will tell. Because I pretty much only have to try to get my hands on 7 more reindeer or snowmobiles, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, that's it. And I didn't include any of the others that I have just because, 1, the mailbox and sled is not finished yet, but also 2, they're not really customs. They're just, they're just part of the collection. So yeah, so let me know what you guys think, and I hope to, as soon as the weather warms up more, hopefully I'll be able to start my painting and start the process of all the stuff that needs done. Pick back up on it once the weather warms up, hopefully, and start where I left off. But it's just been really slow because we've been having, here in Ohio, we've been having sub-zero, and I know that's kind of hard to get motivated and do anything. Plus, if you're spray painting, I can't really just go out and do that. So, alright, well, enough of the rambling. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and let me know which one you like the best, and hopefully I didn't upset you guys too much with the Santa car, but I just couldn't leave it alone. I needed to, any cars I have, especially the ones that are more valuable and more rare, if they're damaged or anything's wrong with them, I feel like I need to repair them the best I can and just hope and pray that I don't mess it up. So, yeah, so leave a comment and tell me which one's your favorite. Mine's Santa Car, and I'll see you in the next one. When the weather warms up, I got some more stuff in store for you. See you next time. Bye.